Hi everyone, how are we today? Just doing a quick all signs reading, a bit more overview of April, see what's going on this time in platonic connections in your life. Okay, so for majority of you, this is going to be picking up on just friends and family, but you know, sometimes we do see remnants of co-workers, of neighbors, of even pets coming through in these sorts of readings as well. Okay, so we're just going to pull out any messages, anything important that you need to be aware of in regard to your platonic relationships throughout April. Anything, you know, jumping out as important for you to be aware of there. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel. If you're looking for the timestamps or any of my contact information, check the description box. You're more than welcome to jump ahead to different placements as well, of course. Today we are using Pixie's Astounding Lenormand, just stopping with the Lenormand today and seeing what that brings out for us, all right? But starting with Aries and moving our way on through. Okay, Aries, what does Aries need to know in regards to platonic connections throughout April? Anything Aries needs to know in regard to platonic relationships throughout April, please? Don't sell yourself short, Aries. We start off here with the market coming through there. Camera not like I changed my area around slightly, and for some reason the camera is not picking things up quite as, you know, focused as what it used to. But this is all about, you know, giving and trading, you know, trading and selling kind of energy, that you're not selling yourself short. You're making sure you're getting your kind of money's worth. You know, I do feel for a lot of you Aries, there may be a message here about someone borrowing or lending money to you, because I do have quite a few of the money cards coming through here. So, you know, we start off there with the market, but then we move over into the garden, followed by the fish. Okay, and so the fish is our money card. For some of you, you may be dealing with a Gemini family member or friend that is maybe the one borrowing or trading or bartering with you. So I'm just kind of getting that you may be trading time for, it may not even be money, okay? It may be trading time for support or something, you know, like that. But with that garden in the center there's a definite need to kind of network and meet new friends and spend time meeting up with people. And, you know, maybe that's where that fish is coming into play here, because there is a need for you to sort of get out and about in public and go out and have all these, you know, social meetings this month. So maybe having to, you know, spend a little bit more money on coffee meetings and things like that, going and spending time with people and doing things. So you may be actually sort of spending a little bit more money on your social life this month. Especially, you know, for some of you, they're going to, you know, actual events with friends like markets. I don't know about where you live in the world, but there's a lot of fresh produce markets and things like that. You know, every month they have a big, you know, market thing at the local showground where, you know, people it can be like a very social event where you join up with a few friends and you go, let's go to the markets and have a look around together and whatnot, you know. So that may be something popping up for some of you here, Aries, as well. I'm also getting for some of you the fish market, meeting someone at the fish market. So, you know, that's very interesting. Well, my son does have a lot of Aries placements, and he absolutely would. He loves going to the fish market with me. He loves seafood, so he loves. That's a very social event for him with his Aries placements. So maybe that's you too, Aries. You're meeting people at the fish market, or maybe you're actually meeting new friends at the fish market as well. All right, but not selling yourself short seems to be important there as well. That you're, you know, people want to spend time with you, Aries. So don't sell yourself short that people don't, you know, because this is a very getting out and about in public kind of energy here, getting exploring the world and having an abundance of meetings with others around you, with your platonic relationships, spending time actually with them. All right. So definitely something there too about social media. Some of you, there might be Facebook Marketplace coming through there, those sorts of social media type things. You may be spending a little bit of money on those things, and maybe meeting, maybe that's a bit of a social outing for you in some kind of a way. Keeping in mind, it is connected to your platonic relationships. So maybe that's somehow important to you this month. All right, the trading, those sorts of things. I'm also hearing trading Pokemon cards, someone there as well. Interesting. But that's what we're seeing for you, Aries. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll move on over to Taurus. Okay, Taurus. What's going on for Taurus with platonic relationships throughout April? Platonic relationships for Taurus throughout April, please. Aries and Cancer both coming through here. You may have strong platonic ties with Aries or Cancer placements. We do see the Stork coming through first. Okay, Taurus. So sort of things getting stirred up, but it's not actual. I feel as though it's not necessarily things as such getting stirred up, and not anything visible getting stirred up. It seems to be more emotional things, because we do have that followed up by the anchor and then the moon. Okay, and so the moon does sort of show us emotions at the surface here, emotions coming out to play a little bit, things that have been in the dark coming out into the light a little bit more there. But with the anchor there, they're stabilizing, so things that maybe have triggered you in the past emotionally are stabilizing, and this stirring up energy is actually, stirring up new perspectives and new ideas about how to stabilize yourself emotionally, how to trust your emotions and your gut instinct and those sorts of things, and how to, rely on it's giving me this specific phrasing here. It's stirring up an idea on how to rely on your gut instinct, your intuition, but also to stabilize and keep steady your emotions and your triggers. Okay, so things that maybe have triggered you emotionally in the past, you're just gaining a little bit, it feels like it's just stirring up a clearer perspective, a clearer understanding of self and how to stabilize oneself. So I do feel as though this, though, is somebody else is stirring that up within you. So maybe there is somebody, giving you advice from your platonic connections. Maybe somebody is giving you advice, or somebody says something that stirs up all these thoughts and feelings within you, and makes you start to understand, a different part of yourself. But, with the anchor there, if there has been any emotional upsets within your platonic connections, they are all stabilizing right now. Things are shifting into a much better way. That Stork is the Aries card, and it does allow new beginnings, especially in Aries season. All right, so being that we are in Aries season for the first half of April, it does sort of show us that, just the time frame, maybe stirring some stuff up in the platonic connections and stabilizing any, sensitive emotions between yourself and your connections. Okay, Taurus. So it just seems like a month of things leveling out a little bit for you within your platonic connections. All right, but you're more than welcome to check your other placements. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Geminis. Okay, Gemini. What's going on for Gemini throughout April with platonic connections? Platonic relationships, the friends and the family for Gemini. What's going on throughout April, please? Okay. Spending time with, I feel like this is a specific family member. We do have the tree coming through first. That is the Virgo card there, Gemini. But it's kind of straight away talking about family tree, branching out and providing a safe place for somebody to land. I feel like this is you. You're the tree here in this scenario where you're spreading your branches out and protecting somebody from the rain. You're allowing somebody space to heal and grow and learn a little bit more about themselves. It does straight away feel like a family connection here. We do have the fox there, followed by the letter. So, I do feel that fox is somebody else around you, most likely in your family here. And they are probably expressing to you sometime this month about some feelings of potential, like needing that support, that they're feeling a little bit, it does feel like a little bit isolated there, that they're maybe realizing that they've been just a little bit too independent and too self-sufficient, and they've been so focused on their own survival that they haven't actually stopped and allowed themselves a safe place to rest, which is where you come in for them this month, that they're communicating or expressing to you that, look, I feel like I've just been a little bit too self-focused, too self-obsessed. For some of you, there may be things like concerns about selfishness, or concerns about being. It's not sneaky. It's not. It's kind of like trickster kind of energy, that they haven't actually spent real time healing and growing relationships within the family. They've kind of just been doing their own thing a lot, and maybe very focused on work for some of them. They've just done what they've needed to do to get by, kind of thing. But now they're sort of coming in and expressing that they want this to heal and actually have an opportunity to grow and mature in a different kind of a way. So I'm kind of getting that this might be the person in the family who, is kind of the black sheep connecting with you this month, Gemini. Of course, you probably feel like the black sheep as well, don't we all? It's a very common thing. We don't understand sometimes that the one that we think is the black sheep is sometimes it's not the actual black sheep of the family, if that makes sense. And I'm picking up on that message for some reason there as well. But maybe they're communicating to you that they feel like the black sheep of the family. And you're kind of like, hang on, I thought I was. Because there's something coming through there about, a fox in sheep's clothing. I know it's normally a wolf in sheep's clothing, but it's a fox in sheep's clothing, that this person feels a little bit isolated. They feel as though they've just been so focused on their own survival that they've not realized, other people's roles within the family, and they've just presumed that they're the black sheep, kind of thing as well. It's a very I feel as though this is like the family trickster, the family joker as well. So, in the past they maybe have taken light of situations, and now they're coming in a little bit more serious, wanting to, grow and mature in a different kind of way, and heal family dynamics. Okay, so that's what we're seeing with you there, but you're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Cancer. Pardon me. Okay, Cancer. What's going on for Cancer throughout April with platonic relationships? Platonic connections for Cancer throughout April, please. Okay, Cancer, we see you here very much up in your head. We see the fox and the clouds coming through here. So some of you may have a close Gemini family member, because I kind of saw the opposite side of this in the Gemini portion there. But I feel like this is you. This fox energy seems to be you here, and they're both very intelligent, reality-based, thought-based energies here, sort of up in your head a lot, definitely with the clouds. But with the fox here, you in the past kind of have been very independent, very focused on yourself and what you can do, and you know, doing what you need to do in order to survive, saying what you need to say in order to, you know, just get through. You know, maybe you have sort of felt like you at times have been a little bit selfish or manipulative when it comes to platonic connections, but it's coming from a place of like overthinking. You overthink every little thing, and you just sort of really focused on what's best for me, what do I need to get out of this situation. Not going to lie, you have maybe in the past been a little bit selfish, and you're only just now sort of starting to realize that that may have been interpreted as you being a little bit selfish in the past, but you've always sort of just seen yourself as very, you know, independent and doing what you got to do for you kind of thing. But you're kind of now realizing, I think, here that other people may interpret that as you kind of being a little bit, I'll just do what I need to do to get what I need out of things, rather than, you know, it can be perceived as selfishness sometimes. All right, but we do see a perspective shift coming through there with that, because the overthinking, it's been heavy. It's been a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, and a lot of worry up in your headspace here. And it's kind of like you've overthought things so much that you've just held yourself apart from your platonic relationships. You've held yourself very separate, feeling as though, oh, no one would understand, because, you know, it's all in my head. It's all going on for me. Like, no one else would understand. Once again, you've been a little bit selfish with your thoughts as well, Cancer, holding them away from everyone else, and just sort of presuming that no one else would understand your perspective, your thoughts. You know, but I feel as though there is a bit of a perspective shift coming through for you this month, because we do have the stork there as well. All right, so the stork stirs things up, and it stirs up new ways of thinking, new perspectives. You know, it makes us sort of start thinking about, okay, well, if I'm not looking at the clouds as grey and dreary and storm clouds all the time, what other sorts of clouds are there? So you're starting to sort of look for the silver lining, and you're starting to part those clouds and see the sun behind those clouds, and see, you know, get fresh ideas and fresh perspectives, rather than thinking no one else could ever see things through my brain, through my ways of thinking. You're actually starting to put yourself in other people's shoes and starting to try to think about what their perspective would be and how they would think about things, rather than being so focused on no one can understand my thoughts and my perspectives. You're starting to go, well, okay, well, if no one can understand my thoughts and perspectives, I feel like that's not completely true either, Cancer, and that perspective may shift here for you as well this month. But you're starting to go, okay, well, I'm just going to try to look at it through their perspective. And that's when you realize that, hang on, they probably do understand my perspective a little bit more than I've given them credit for. Because as soon as you're putting yourself in someone else's shoes, you're kind of realizing, oh, hang on, I actually think they probably think about things just as much as I do. And they, you know, have good thoughts and ideas just as much as I do. Maybe I need to come out of that fox energy a little bit and stop holding myself so separate and so, you know, alone, because, you know, maybe we can move forward and shift things in a different kind of a way, and that there may be actually more understanding there both ways than I'm previously allowed myself to think. All right, so I feel like this is your thoughts and your perspectives. You're getting a different idea on how to think about things and what you think about things, and you're coming out of this place where you have been very independent and alone and focused on your own survival, and you're coming into a more connected place with those platonic relationships, you know, seeing things more from other people's perspectives, not just your own. Okay, so sorry if that sounds a little bit harsh, Cancer, but that's the way the message is coming through, all right? But you're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Leos. Okay, Leo. Platonic connections for Leo. What does Leo need to know in regard to platonic relationships throughout April? Leo. It's very interesting, Leo. I'm seeing a direct reference immediately here. We have the garden and then the snake have come out first. So it's straight away, it tells me the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden, you know, the snake in the Garden of Eden. We do see the ship here as well. So there's quite interesting because, you know, the garden is a very social energy. It's about meeting up with friends, spending a lot of time out and about with friends, accepting invitations and things like that. But with the snake here, it's like I feel as though you are kind of like, you're seeing through the illusion though. You're seeing through the deception, you know. I feel like for some of you, you've finally set loose this snake from your friend group, from your platonic relationships, or you're very aware that they are the snake in the Garden of Eden kind of thing. For something like that coming through here, that for some of you, it's just to do with a Scorpio. But it's like, I don't feel like there's an actual deception here, but it's kind of like feeling as though you have been slightly deceived about a person in your social group. It's kind of just this energy of like feeling like every time you organize to meet up with somebody that they never show up. They're always running late. That they're always off on their own adventures, and they're not including you as much, kind of thing. Because with the ship here, the ship is travel, and you know, it's kind of like the snake is moving in the same direction as the ship here. So it's like the snake is traveling away from you and your social, you know, wanting to spend time and meet up and, you know, spend time together with this person. Feels like the snake is always leaving, kind of thing. That's the deception, is that, you know, maybe they're like, oh yeah, I'll meet up with you, Leo, but then they go their own way, kind of thing. They go on a different adventure, and they travel elsewhere. It kind of feels a little bit petty, to be honest. It feels like a friend saying, oh yeah, I'll meet up with you, Leo, but then, you know, they kind of ghost you or whatever, and then you see later on their socials that they went and did something else without you or something like that. It does feel just a little bit like that. There is definitely some sort of social media deception for someone here too. Because I'm getting specifically something about seeing on social media somebody traveling. Because it seems like this snake is actually traveling for some of you here. It's like, it's very specific, but it's like, oh, Leo, I don't have time. Like, I can't meet up with you. I can't afford the coffee. But then you see on their social media that they left to go on a holiday and spend all this money on a holiday. And you're like, well, hang on, what? You couldn't afford a coffee, but all of a sudden you can afford to go on a cruise? For some of you, I'm specifically getting a cruise as well. That this person is going on a cruise, and you're like, hang on, you couldn't afford $5 for a coffee with me, but you can afford to go on a cruise? Like, obviously that doesn't make sense. Whether that's friends or family. I feel like for a lot of you, it's more so along the lines of like friends rather than family. But I feel like this is a repeated issue for you. That this person is just like not completely honest about what's going on in their life, and you don't, it's like you always find out after the fact. You always find out after they're on the cruise, or, you know, and there's something there too about, like, when you want to meet up with them, they don't, they're always unable, but when it suits them, they expect you to be free, kind of thing. I just feel like you're just kind of like feeling as though this person is just not completely honest with you about, what's going on in their life. I'm feeling the need to just grab one more card here, Leo. If you know who this person is, you might want to check out their placements and see what's coming through on their end. Yeah, so we have the ring coming through here as well. So, it could be a Scorpio, it could be a Taurus, or someone with strong placements of those. But it's like a pattern. It's like you've noticed the pattern. You've noticed the pattern of this person doing that it's like every time you want to spend time with them and meet up with them or go and do something with them, it's kind of like they're lying to you and telling you, oh, I can't for this reason. But then straight away you see them doing something else on their social media, and you're like, well, why didn't you just tell me that you were already doing something else? And but it seems like you're noticing that this is a pattern with this person. Okay. So that's what we're seeing for you. You are more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Virgos. Virgo, what's going on for our Virgos with platonic connection throughout April? What does Virgo need to know in regards to their platonic relationships throughout April, please? I did just have one fly on out there as well. The tree, that was your card flying on out there, Virgo. I am actually getting something about your family tree is important, Virgo, throughout April. Your ancestral tree. Okay, because not only do we have the tree, but the next card that's come through here is the Spirit, followed by the Clover. So this is a message about somebody who is only in your spirit, not in your life. Maybe you're taking a chance to invest in some way in learning more about your family tree, your ancestral roots. I feel like for a lot of you, you're being pushed to do that by, a guardian spirit that is a family member. For others of you, I'm picking up something very specific here about a Virgo who, it's like you're finally investing in taking the chance to do the DNA test. I'm getting that message very specifically there as well. So if there's a family member that you do not know, this might be the time to do that ancestral test or the DNA test or whatever that means, in order to understand that part of your family tree a little bit more. I'm picking up for someone here that there's a reason, that a health-related reason that you're needing to do that, because there may be something in your family's medical history that you need to be aware of. Others of you, there's definitely a message here about a guardian spirit of some sense, like whether you want to think of it as like a guardian angel, a spirit guide, somebody that has passed. It does feel like there's a strong energy around you guiding you right now, Virgo. And I'm hearing very clearly with that clover there that it's like you need to like take a chance that what you're experiencing, what if it is real, kind of thing. Because I feel like a lot of you are kind of like, oh, pish posh, I don't know why it's coming through pish posh. That's a random thing that I do not say, but that's what I'm hearing. Some of you are experiencing some stuff, and it's like there's a real big part of you that's like refusing to believe, and go pish posh. That was a coincidence, or oh, there must have been a breeze in this house with the windows closed and the doors closed. There must have been a breeze somewhere. It was nothing, and you're trying to talk yourself out of believing. There's more to it, Virgo. Trust. You need to take a chance on what if it is real? What if that is real? What if there is actually somebody beside you, guiding you right now in your life? Is that a bad thing? Like, I think that's somebody that you can talk to and ask for advice. And, even if you don't get clear answers, sometimes just acknowledging that what if is enough to move you in the right direction with this. Some of you just need to trust at the moment that is real and it's really happening. Like, what if it's real? It just keeps wanting to say that. What if it's real? What if it's so-and-so? What if it's this, some of you, I feel like you even have a clue of who it is. Like, I'm getting grandmother coming through there. And it's because it's like, I'm getting grandmother for somebody, and it's like your grandmother was actually very stern on you. This might be just for one of you specifically, but your grandmother was very stern on you, and you always kind of thought that if someone was going to come through and guide you through your life, that it wouldn't have been them, because you were like, I don't know, there was a part of you that as a child you were always like, I don't think they even like me. But no, they're there guiding you, and they, sometimes the ones that are the sternest, if someone is stern on us and not so much everyone else around us, a lot of the time that's because they see the greatest potential in us. And that's what I'm picking up here, is that's why they were so stern on you, because they saw the greatest potential in you. And that's why they're there with you now, guiding you, because they still see that great potential in you, Virgo. Okay. So that was a very specific message. If that's not resonating for you, you're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. All right. I do feel a lot of you fighting that message completely, just because of the disbelief. What if, Virgo? What if? All right. So that's what we're seeing there for you. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Libra. Okay, Libra. What's going on for Libra throughout April when it comes to friends and family connections? Platonic relationships for Libra in April. Interesting. I'm getting some specific messages coming through. I have the Rider and the Snake coming through first. Okay, so there's a very specific message here that for those of you who maybe like are going horse riding, or planning on going horse riding, or go horse riding throughout April, please be very careful, because the horse might come across a snake. That's a very specific message. You need to be very, very careful with horse riding this month, Libra. And it may not be you. It may be the friend that you go with, the person that you go with, the platonic connection that you go with. Because I'm seeing you're not alone. There's multiple horses. But there's we all need to be very, very careful, because we may come across a snake and it might spook the horse. Very specific, I know, okay? For others of you, though, that there's this, you may be dealing with Scorpio, Taurus throughout April. They may be strong in your friendship groups throughout April, your platonic relationships throughout April. I'm also seeing here, like, this rider is like movement, okay? And it's what it's kind of moving you towards is like good news. You're understanding the cycle, the pattern. You're seeing the pattern, the cycle. We have the ring here. You're moving forwards in this relationship. It does feel like for a lot of you a specific connection with somebody where there may have been a little bit of just not knowing with this person in the past, like, because this person, they come across as snake energy, right? That they move like this, and you never know where they're going to be. You never know how to take them, because they don't move in. They're not straightforward and they're not direct. And so you're like, and I'm also getting, someone that you maybe have in the past, you've had to walk on eggshells around, somebody that maybe has been even deceptive to some extent, or you feel like they have kind of, it's not that they've betrayed you, but it just feels as though it's one of those relationships where you have always felt like you care about that person more than they care about you. All right. But to be completely honest, I do feel as though you're realizing now this month that has actually been an illusion. That is actually this person's way of keeping themselves safe, because, and they do care about you. They do care about you, Libra, just as much as you care about them. They just show it differently. All right. They're just somebody that you just can't pin them down. They move like this, they move like they're a sneaky little snake, They may be a Scorpio, definitely, for some of you here. But you're starting to sort of notice the pattern of this relationship, of this person. And you're building upon that relationship. You're strengthening the commitment between the two of you. You're strengthening the bonds of connection between the two of you in some way, shape, or form this month. That relationship is moving forward in a more committed kind of a way, where you actually are understanding this person a little bit more. You're kind of noticing that they do this certain thing, and that's them protecting themselves. You're starting to realize a little bit more about why they go through these cycles, or why they move certain ways, that it's just different to how you do, and maybe there has just been a bit of a misunderstanding or lack of understanding between the two of you in the past, or you've maybe felt, oh, this person just doesn't care about me as much as I care about them. But you're realizing that, that's just part of the way that they cope and the way that they deal with life. And that's just, I feel like there's definitely something here about noticing this person's patterns. I do feel as though for some of you, you are starting to notice that this person has, because I keep getting the phrase like seasonal depression. And so you're noticing that, like, at certain points throughout the year, this person is harder to pin down than others, and may seem more aloof and off on their own than other times, but you've also seen them, get to the end of that, where they kind of shed their skin, and then they have this fresh new burst of connection with you. And you're starting to sort of notice those patterns and pay attention to the cycles that this person kind of just goes through. I feel like it's got to do with their mental health, their emotional self. It's just part of who they are, and I feel like you're starting to understand that just a little bit more, we're moving forward and understanding that a little bit more, and not feeling quite so, betrayed when this person does go through those cycles, because you're realizing, no, that's just them. That's, if I love this person, I've got to love that side of them as well, that kind of goes and hides at certain points of time. All right. So not going to lie, I'm sure one of my Libra besties, I'm sure she would, I think me and her recently had a conversation about me and me doing this to her. So I'm sure she would totally resonate with this reading when it comes to her relationship with me. Okay. that's what we've got for you, Libra, okay? But you're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Definitely subscribe to the channel. We will move on over to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. Scorpio, what is going on for Scorpio in April with platonic connections? Platonic relationships for Scorpio throughout April, please. Okay. Oh, some good stuff for you with the platonic friends and family and whatnot. We have the letter coming through first. All right, so some sort of communication or expression that sort of pushes you to take a chance. We have the clover there as well. For some of you, there's like it feels like kind of like an opportunity of some sort. Like it does feel monetary, to be honest, for a lot of you here, which is odd. That is a money card. But there's some sort of communication. It could be a text message, an email, in person, that sort of leads to an investment in your wishes being met. We have the stars there as well. Okay, so this is like an investment in your dreams, your goals. Someone communicating with you that they're wanting to invest in your future, your wishes coming true. That they're taking a chance on you, Scorpio, that they're expressing, good luck with the goals. So there may be some sort of mutual goal or dream that you and somebody have. I'm getting with the stars there as well that I am getting monetary, but I'm getting more along the lines of like success. So it may not be actual physical monetary value. It may be along the lines of some sort of success, joined success in a joined goal that you and somebody have. So I definitely feel like for a lot of you, this may actually be more to do with like co-workers. I'm getting friends, like, so maybe it's someone that you're connected to and as a friend that is also connected to you through work or something like that as well. We do have Sagittarius as well as Aquarius in those cards there as well. But it's like maybe with the letter there as well, it could be, an invitation, or it could be an expression of interest in some sense. It could be some sort of paperwork or documentation, or I'm also getting random things like scratchies. What do you call them overseas? Scratch tickets? Is that what you call them? We just call them scratchies here in Australia. There could be like an actual document or card. Like I'm getting a card with something inside of it that is, the investment in your goals in some way, shape, or form. Investment in your success. Interesting. Let me know once that happens, and see. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out for everyone within the collective. I'm intrigued. Let me know, Scorpio. But that's what we see for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will check out what's going on for our Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. What's going on for Sagittarius this month with the platonic relationships, platonic connections for Sagittarius throughout April, please? Interesting. I find that this is where you're sitting here. We have the fish in the house. So some sort of financial stability in your life, financial security in your life at the moment, like a sense of feeling safe and comfortable, which, is a big thing for anyone these days with what's going on in the world at the moment with financial security for people. You have some sort of level of comfortability here that is actually stirring up new opportunities and momentum in your life in general. We have the stork there as well. So you being in such a good, and it may not even feel like you're in a good financial place, but it's somewhat stable and somewhat secure, a reliable kind of energy there. You have this comfort zone around the financials, and you're feeling very abundant in all aspects of your life this month. I feel it's just feeling like you're actually in a pretty good place, even if you don't necessarily feel that that's the case. You actually are, especially comparatively, because I do feel as though this is stirring up opportunities for you, and it's stirring up new perspectives and new ideas on, where you can go from here, where you can go upwards from comfortable. If we're already at this awesome, comfortable baseline, the only way to go is up, right? We don't want to go back down. So we're stirring up new ideas and moving forwards, having new beginnings coming through here, some momentum being gained, I feel, for a lot of you. And it's because you're in just such a stable zone when it comes to your platonic relationships as well, that very abundant. Like, you may find that you're the place that people come to because you're safe and secure to be around, on a platonic level, that you may find that you have a level of comfortability within your platonic connections this month that actually stirs up, some new friendships for you, and you're meeting new people, and you're feeling like the safe person. A lot of people are wanting to rely on your friendship and your, you as a family member or whatnot as well. So it stirs up some good things for you this month. Definitely getting some good things stirring up for you. I just want to see where that goes. Where does that stork lead Sagittarius? But it's coming from you being a very solid home base for your platonic connections. All right. We have the masculine and the fox coming after that stork. So it's stirring up some sort of new beginning. For some of you, this is a new friend or a new family member that is, very intelligent, controlled, independent. But you're the safe zone. It's like you're the only support that this person has, because they don't feel, they're the fox. So they're very focused on their own self. But something about your safe energy stirs this person into, this may even be, I am getting here too, for some of you, that this person may, I'm getting a lot of reciprocal kind of energy, that there's someone that they're so used to looking out for themselves and themselves alone, that to encounter your safety zone, your comfort area of you, it really makes them just want to give to you. And, they maybe, it's like maybe they're helping you out in a lot of ways, like using their intelligence and the way that they approach life in a very independent, I do what I got to do to get things done kind of a way. And that in turn, it feels like some sort of trade, some sort of gift to you, that they're maybe helping you, reorganize finances or something along those lines to ensure the stability is going to remain. I do feel as though this person actually is very useful to you. That it's kind of like a businessman energy here, regardless of gender. All right. It's kind of like you being such a safe comfort zone for this person invites more prosperity in, and this person wants to invite more prosperity in to you. It's like they're like, well, I just feel this person's energy is very much like, well, if Sagittarius is my comfort zone where I can always go home to, what can I do to ensure that they continue to be able to be that for me, you know, and so they come in strong, you know, wanting to take care of you kind of energy. You know, it's a very protective. They want to protect the home base kind of thing. So a very solid energy for you there. But you just keep on being you, I suppose, Sagittarius, and you know, be that comfort zone for people, and it will pay off in the long run, all right? But that's what we're seeing for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel. We will have a look at what's going on for Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn. Platonic connections for Capricorn throughout April. What does Capricorn need to know throughout April in regards to platonic connections? Let me know, Capricorn. I'm thinking about doing a reading on who is your biggest hater. All right, the secret hater. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. Because I'm not going to lie, Capricorn, you're one of the signs that I've been picking up on that energy. And I'm seeing it here in the hidden energy here. We have the tower with the whip behind it, all right? Followed by the child. So somebody is kind of being very immature, and it's causing dramas. It's like rocking your foundation, like you're trying to be very solid, but you're kind of isolating yourself from the drama because you can kind of see someone's just being very immature and a little bit selfish even, very naive to, you know, it's kind of this energy of like Capricorn coming in like, I can't be your parent. I can't raise you. You're a full-grown adult. You should raise yourself. I'm staying away from your drama. I'm going to isolate myself from your drama. So I do feel as though there is someone under the surface of your life at the moment, Capricorn, that is a bit of a hater. They're not directly a hater, but they're a bit of a hater. It's kind of like, I feel like it's jealousy, to be honest. You know, like, I'm not going to play with you anymore because you've got the best toys. I don't want to play with you because you've got better toys than I've got, or something, you know, something silly, like immaturity coming through here. They're just not as grown as you, Capricorn. They're not as mature as you. And you're just kind of sick of taking care of them, I think, to be honest. We see you, though. You're moving in a really positive way when it comes to the platonic connections at the moment because, you know, we start off here with the heart and the clover. So you've got your heart on your sleeve, you've got your heart open, you're, you know, even taking a bit of a risk to be loving and caring towards the platonic connections in your life. You know, you're investing love into people around you. We do see the crossroads there as well, the pathway. So there is like it feels like a conscious decision that's going to need to be made at some point, Capricorn, this month about, you know, how much can I invest love into somebody? Do I continue to invest love into somebody? You know, is this too much of a risk? You know, I've been taking a chance. I've been investing love into somebody a lot. But maybe it's time to walk a different path here. Maybe it's time I need to decide to find an alternate route, you know, around this. And because it's like I'm giving this person love and I'm you know, investing my heart into this person, but maybe it's time for me to walk a different path, do things a little bit, decide to do something differently here. Once again, I do feel as though this might be because of this, you know, undercover hater. Not going to lie. Capricorn, just clarify the crossroads for Capricorn, please. Deciding to have a conversation maybe about that. Deciding to, there's a, you know, because there's a, it feels like you're having to decide between the chatty gossip rumor mill and the mature loving approaches. You know, you yourself are investing in the loving approach, but it feels like you know, this decision of there's a bit of gossip or chatter or rumors or oversharing maybe, and you're just kind of like over it. I'm hearing that song. Is it 3 Days Grace, and it's just like you. I could do this, I could do that, I could be just like you. But I'm choosing to not be. You know, we see the key there as well. I'm choosing to walk through a different doorway. I'm choosing to open myself up to success, not same old, over and over again, drama, rumors, gossip. I feel like you're choosing a different pathway here. You're choosing to fly off into the sunset and go through a different door. Not going to lie, Capricorn, I may be a little bit biased because I do have something like that going on in my life right now, just within myself. It's obviously coming out in the collective, but I am getting that a bit of that hater energy, you know, secret hater energy. Capricorn, and do you know what? I actually dreamt about telling you this. So random. A couple of nights ago, I dreamt about telling you this. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, Capricorn, because I went to go, okay, Capricorn, make sure you're, you know, wearing your evil eyes, okay? As you can see, I've got them all over me, right? I've got evil eyes all over the place. I've got them on this arm as well. But the other day, I was wearing a shirt that was evil eyes, all right? It had evil eyes all over it. Two people in my platonic connections really took a strong disliking to me wearing this shirt. And like one of them said, it's just so busy. It's just so busy. And the other one said, I'm just not used to seeing you in white, okay? Because it was white with, you know, the blue evil eyes all over it. And I was like thinking to myself at the time, like, why does this make you so uncomfortable? Like, why does this make you so uncomfortable? Because, yes, it was a little bit different to my, you know, normally I'm wearing dresses, but it was like the first cold day we've had here in Australia. So I finally had an opportunity to wear a long sleeve shirt. So it was my first time wearing that shirt ever. And I'd been out all day and I'd had compliments on the shirt already earlier in the day. But these two specific people were very, and I could feel the energy of them being like, is the word affronted by seeing this evil eye. Maybe confronted, you know. I feel like it reflected something back at them a little bit, and it like jarred them, it shocked them. And then they both said, oh, it must be the shirt, like it's the white, it's the too much going on. Have you been feeling like that lately, Capricorn? Something like that has happened. You know, I just felt that, like, obviously I had to share that with you guys since I dreamt about it the other night. So there's obviously some sort of message in that to you, that, you know, it's because the evil eye image, right, it's to protect you from people talking bad about you or looking at you and badly and, you know, giving you the evil eye, so to speak. So, you know, it's to protect you specifically from the sorts of people that are your friend, acting like your friend to your face, but then maybe talking behind your back, starting rumors or gossip behind your back, talking about you behind your back. You know, people that are telling you, I want you to succeed, Capricorn, but deep down there's this little part of them that would love to watch you fail. Yeah? That's what the evil eye stuff protects you against. So if you don't have one already, I would recommend getting an evil eye charm of some sort. All right? I have them everywhere. Not going to lie, I have them everywhere. Like, I've got them protecting my home. I've got them protecting my You know, even little things like I've got one on the back of my phone case. I've got one on my house keys. I'm looking at one right here. I've got a big evil eye dream catcher across the other side of the room. I love them. I love them. I just like the imagery, and it's a form of protection for yourself. So might be time to invest, Capricorn. Okay, but we're getting a bit over time for you there. But isn't that always the case for my Capricorns? But that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel. We will move on over to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. What's going on for Aquarius throughout April when it comes to platonic connections? Platonic relationships for Aquarius in April, please. Straight away, Aquarius, I want to say you're overthinking it, all right? We have the clouds coming through first. You're overthinking it. Whatever it is, you're overthinking it, all right? You're kind of worried about nothing, getting a little bit of anxiety or stress about something that has been expressed to you or communicated. We have the letter there followed by the lilies, all right? So it's kind of like somebody has expressed something to you that is very kind of like, and you're overthinking it. You're really overthinking it because whatever's been expressed or communicated to you, it's something that is actually close to somebody's heart. It's like they've actually opened up and been quite vulnerable with you by sharing that with you, and you're overthinking it. I kind of feel like you're kind of going, why did they say something like that? Because that's just that's too much. Like it's too, we're not that close. Or something like that. And for some of you, though, it's something about someone's health concerns. Someone's communicated something about health issues or concern about their own death, to be honest, or funeral, something to do with funeral arrangements or something along those lines. And they've expressed that to you, and it's kind of freaked you out a little bit. And now you're overthinking it. There's no need to overthink it. It's just, when you start to get to know people, sometimes you do share vulnerable stories, or you do, when you feel as though somebody is a close friend or family member, just because they're talking to you about their funeral plans, it doesn't mean that they know that they're going to, something's going to happen. It's just that they trust that you will remember that when the time does come. They feel as though that's that's actually something because I feel like this person, they're just being very, very, very logical, very factual. They're not, it doesn't mean anything. All right. It's not quite as deep as you think it is. All right. There's just something where you're kind of like, how could they tell me something that's so intimate? How could they talk about their funeral? It's, for some reason, it's just freaked you out a little bit. It's just confronted you a little bit. Maybe it's something that you're not as comfortable talking about, but this person is comfortable talking about that with you. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Just take it as it is and allow it to be, all right? There's not some big secret conspiracy of why they've said that. They don't know anything about, when their funeral is actually going to be. They just trust you. It's actually a good thing that this person trusts you and feels close enough to you to know that they can tell you these things or they can talk to you about these things. All right? So just don't overthink it so much, all right? Because you're with the overthinking, you're jumping to all the negative conclusions, all right? You're going down these little rabbit holes in your own head and allowing it to stress you out when it doesn't need to. Doesn't need to stress you out. Just take it at face value and move on. All right? It's not a big deal, honestly. I don't know. There you go, Aquarius. That's the message we've got for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. definitely subscribe to the channel. We will move on over to our Pisces. Okay, Pisces. What's going on for Pisces throughout April when it comes to platonic connections? Platonic relationships for Pisces in April, please. Oh my gosh, Pisces. Every time I say that word, it drives me insane that I cannot say the word properly. You know the one I just said? Platonic relationships. I cannot say it any other way. Funny story, Pisces. A long time ago, I worked with a New Zealander for a very long time, like 7 years or something. And we were spent so much time together that I picked up on his accent, and I can't help it. There's certain words that I just cannot say without the New Zealand accent. So if you're from overseas and you don't have much knowledge of Australian versus New Zealand accent, there are differences, all right. And there are certain words that I say that I actually say with a New Zealand. See, even New Zealand, I can't. I've got to say that in the New Zealand accent. Because how do Aussies say it? Aussies say New Zealand. Zealand. I've got to actually stop and think about how to say it in my Australian accent when I've picked up bits and pieces of another accent. It's just one of those things. Are you someone who picks up accents, Pisces? I always have. There's a sudden breaking free for you this month, Pisces. We have the scythe. See, this is the harvest, though. This is harvest. There's a sudden cutting someone out, cutting something out of your life because it's no longer serving your highest good. It's like breaking free from something that has held you back, held you down. We have the anchor there as well, because in the past, this anchor has been holding you back. This person, I feel like it's a person straight away, has been holding you back, Pisces. And, breaking free from that enables you to no longer be held back, but to know who and what you can rely on. All right? Because there's this energy here too. We have the spirit coming through where it's more about you're relying on your spiritual instincts. Quite often this spirit does talk quite realistically about actual spirits, but it's feeling like you're more so your spirit, your spiritual nature, your intuition, I suppose, it's kind of like for some of you that you're ghosting this person. You're quite literally ghosting somebody for some of you because I'm getting like a very mirrored energy there that this person maybe has ghosted you. And so you're just like, okay, well, do you know what? I'm cutting that out. And even when they do come back around, I'm just going to ghost them now because it's not part of my energy anymore. My intuition is telling me that holding on to that is holding me back. For some of you, you may even have, spirit guides or something along those lines guiding you towards steering clear of this person, breaking free from that so that you can move on to greener pastures, cutting it out of your life. I do feel like for some of you here that you're actually sending this person a message and saying, look, like I feel like you're calling someone out for ghosting you, Pisces. For a couple of you are choosing to just cut it off completely and just block and forget kind of thing. But a couple of you maybe actually are sending this person a message and saying and calling them out. You have ghosted me. You have ghosted me, and I'm sick of that. I'm sick of holding on to a connection where you just keep ghosting me and standing me up and not being there for me when I need you to be. and be something about incorporeal coming through there as well. I don't get that message, but yeah, you're cleansing yourself of this relationship. Look at that. We have the incense burner and the ring, followed by the bouquet. So you're starting to give to things that give back to you, rather, focusing on the things that give back to you rather than the things that just disappear and don't contact you when, you know. I am getting a mirroring energy though, Pisces, so make sure you are taking personal responsibility for the fact that, because there is one or two of you where you have done it just as much to them as they've done it to you. All right, so, but there's a very stuck energy there between you and this person. It's time to sort of set them free one way or another, so that, it's time to set that relationship free. We do have the Taurus card there as well. So for some of you, it may be a Taurus, okay, or strong Taurus placements. But that's what we're seeing for you. More than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you all again tomorrow for the shadow work reading.